We'll get the roll call first.
So please, we all bow our heads.
We'll roll call first.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, we'll go ahead and do roll call. Dominic.
Present.
Lyndon Johnson.
Present.
Jackson. Lynn.
Here.
Present.
Bowman. Cawthorn. Gage Watts. Middleton. Atkins.
Here.
Chavez.
Here, sir.
Smith.
Present.
Lewis Johnson. We have a quorum.
Thank you.
We please bow our heads. Dear gracious eternal Father, we come to you this evening with bowed down and humble hearts. We are grateful and appreciative for the people who are assembled here today. We pray special prayer upon our commissioners here who will be conducting the business of the parish today. We pray that it is conducted in decency and in order. We declare victory for this parish, we declare victory for this state, and victory for this nation. In Jesus Christ's name, we offer this petition. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All military veterans and active military, hand to brow, all others, hand over your heart. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Cawthorn and Commissioner LBJ. Mr. Hopkins, I do see one agenda addition. You want to read that? Do we have any additional?
I just have one. We have to expand the agenda and add public hearing in regards to resolution number 56 of 2019, giving notice of intention under RS 3689.2 to construct, pave, surface, or otherwise improve Winder Drive, Winder Circle West, Winder Circle East, and Cashmere Circle, all located in Fredolas Place and Windermere Estates subdivision.
Move to expand.
Second.
All right, I got a motion on the floor and a second. Is there anyone that would like to speak for adding the agenda, expanding the agenda and adding?
Yes, I would request and ask that you would please add Resolution 56 to the agenda.
Can I get a name just for the record?
Earl Armstrong.
Thank you, Earl. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone that would like to speak against adding the agenda addition? Okay, Mr. Hopkins?
Hey, you wanna talk?
At this time, we need to vote to expand the agenda.
All
I
right.
have a question.
I got Doug Dominic.
Is this, I think this is the ones in Stormish District, the 60-40 program?
Yes.
You inadvertently didn't get on or something? or-
What happened, they had to advertise it for 3 weeks for the public hearing. It just didn't get on the agenda.
Okay. It's a no-brainer.
Okay. Thank you, Doug. All right, guys, please vote.
Yours on?
Mr. Smith?
It's not on.
Not on.
Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, and that passes.
That'll move under, now we need to move it under public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All right, got a motion on the floor to move it under public hearings. Please vote.
What's this for?
Just to move it under public hearing.
And that passes. I see no more agenda additions, correct?
That's
All
correct,
right,
sir.
moving on to citizen comments. Citizen comments. Citizens who wish to address the commission on any issue other than zoning, please fill out a comment card located in the chamber foyer and return to the president or the clerk of commission. Individual comments are limited to 3 minutes. First I have on here is Fred White.
Thank you. I'm Fred White with Commercial Construction and Development. We're located at 722 North Ashley Ridge Loop in Shreveport, and my home is at 6 Cliffwood Place in Caddo Parish. I've been a building contractor for 35 years here in Shreveport, and I've built all kinds of commercial buildings in Shreveport and Bossier. And today I'm here to support the nomination of Chris Alverson to the MPC board. He's been nominated, and I really believe that the MPC board would greatly benefit from having a professional from the building community on the MPC board. We haven't had a building professional in several years. They have a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience and knowledge. There's not anyone on the MPC board now that's an engineer or an architect or a commercial developer, and I just think it would be a great thing for that board to have a professional that can offer advice and experience. Chris has been an architect for 26 years. I've been familiar with him and his firm for my entire career. He's with Somdahl Associates. He's been past president of the AIA, Shreveport and Louisiana. Worked with him last year, suggesting some various amendments to the UDC, and just found Chris to be very knowledgeable, very professional, and a fair-minded, pro-growth type businessman. And he and his father and their firm have designed lots of churches, all types of worship facilities, lots of healthcare buildings and hospital work. And I've been familiar with them and their reputation for my entire career. Construction projects are badly needed in the Shreveport market to help drive our economy. And Chris understands the cost associated with projects, construction projects. He's familiar with code requirements and the cost that some of those impose on small businesses, which can sometimes make them unaffordable, impractical, and sometimes not workable. And in summary, I would just say that I endorse Chris. I think he would be a huge asset for the MPC board and for Director Clark. He would be just a great source of information and experience, and I recommend that you place him on the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White.
Thank you, Mr. White.
Our next visitor is Mr. Chris Everson.
Hi, I'm Chris Alverson, who
Good afternoon.
you just heard about from Fred. Thank you for those kind words, Fred. I live at 7717 Cresswell, Lot 2 in Shreveport, and I don't want to rehash too much information that Fred had shared with you, but I just would like to express my appreciation for John nominating me for this position. And I would like to let you know I'm interested in serving in this capacity and sharing my experience. As he mentioned, I have served on several boards associated with the profession of building in the city and in the state. We work regionally, so we work with other cities and with other planning commissions. We work in Texas and in Arkansas. So we have an opportunity to see it from not just the perspective in Shreveport, but we see other cities' codes and issues, and so I think that perspective could be valuable on the commission. I am interested in seeing Shreveport grow and seeing our community come together in constructive ways. I do serve on other bodies in Shreveport, and currently serving as a president of Committee of 100, and I'm very involved in different aspects of the community, so I get to see it not only inside of the profession, but also with respect to military affairs and economic development and health care and in education, and so I think that experience is valuable in approaching MPC. So I'd just like to express my appreciation, and if you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you, Mr. Everson.
Thank
we can't
you.
ask any questions at this time. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Chris.
The next card I have is Greg Lott.
Good evening. I'm Greg Lott. I live at 2832 Tuscany Circle, Shreveport. I've been a career banker here in Northwest Louisiana for approximately 34 years. I'm here to voice my support as well for Chris Alverson. I've worked with Chris for about the last 15, 20 years here. Worked with him on small and medium-sized projects. Worked with him on very large projects. This last year, we worked together on about a $10 million investment. Always found him to go above and beyond. He's got a pure heart. He's committed to Northwest Louisiana. I do believe he would be very valuable to the MPC board. We've worked through that process with a number of branch locations in the last 12, 18 months. I think there's been a lot of good progress made at the MPC, and we hope that trend continues. So, again, I'm here with my personal endorsement and believe that he would represent us well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lott.
Thank you, Greg.
Our next card is Brian McNew.
Commissioners, thank you. My name is Brian McNeil. I'm a local business owner, and I'm here today in my position as Vice Chair of Investor Relations, speaking for the Greater Shreveport Chamber of Commerce. Over the past several years, the Chamber has appreciated working with the MPC Director to facilitate communication between the development community, which includes architects, engineers, contractors, developers, and the MPC. The dialogue has produced numerous amendments to the UDC itself and changes to the MPC process that we believe have been beneficial to the MPC, to economic development, and to the future of Shreveport Caddo. These discussions have highlighted the fact that the design, development, and engineering community have an important perspective on both the role of the UDC and the MPC process, as well as the ability to bring real-world input on both the structure and function of the UDC. In the past, the MPC had a long-serving member who was a civil engineer and a member of the local design community. Likewise, our sister city currently has an architect and a civil engineer serving as members on its MPC. With the current opening on the MPC, we believe there is an opportunity to include this perspective on the MPC itself. We believe that doing so would have a positive impact on the implementation of the UDC and help facilitate the ongoing dialogue between the MPC and the community. We therefore encourage the Commission to appoint someone to the MPC who has a background in design, engineering, or construction, can bring the perspective of development to the community and to the MPC itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McNew. That will conclude all of the comment cards that I have at this time. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Okay, next item, we have no visitors, we have no special resolutions. Adopt the regular special
Move to
minutes.
adopt.
So move. Second.
Okay, that was moved by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson, and that was seconded by Commissioner Lynn Carthorne. I see no discussion. Please vote. Okay, and that passes 10 with 2 out of the chamber. Next item,
adopt.
Mr. Clerk.
Adopt the special session minutes
Move
from
to
August
adopt.
5th.
Second, it's been moved by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson and seconded by the chair. See no discussion. Please vote. That passes 10 with 2 out of the chamber.
Next, we move to communique and committee reports. Administration response.
We don't have any response today, Madam President.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. See no commissioners on for communiques. Next item.
We'll move to President's report.
I'll reserve to the end of the agenda.
Next, we move, there are no public hearing on zoning ordinances. We move to public hearing on ordinances. Ordinance number 5892 to amend and reenact section 2-51 of the Code of Ordinances of the
Move to
Parish of
adopt.
Caddo.
Second.
That's the public hearing portion.
Oh, okay.
What's up, LB?
Continue reading, Mr. Clerk.
Okay. Of the Parish of Caddo relative to the Department of Finance and Human Resources.
Okay.
Somewhere.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5892? Is there anyone here to speak against it? I see none. I declare this public hearing on ordinance number 5892 closed.
Next, we move to ordinance number 5893 to grant an encroachment on Provincetown Drive, a public residential street for the purpose of construction of an access gate according to Chapter 40 of the Code of Ordinances.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5893? Is there anyone here to speak against it? I see none. I declare this public hearing on ordinance number 5893 closed.
Next, we move to our agenda addition, resolution number 56 of 2019, giving notice of attention under RS 33:3689.2 to construct, pave, surface, or otherwise improve Winder Drive, Winder Circle West, Winder Circle East, Cashmere Circle, all located in Fredolas Place and Windermere Estates subdivision, section 25, township 17 north, range 15 west, Caddo Parish, Louisiana, to the standards of chapter 48, article 3, division 5, Caddo Parish Code of Ordinances.
Okay, I do have one card for the public hearing. To speak, Mr. Earl Armstrong.
Greetings, Madam President, and to all
Good afternoon.
commissioners. I'm Earl Armstrong, President of the Windermere Homeowner Association. At this time, I will ask for Windermere homeowner members who are present to please stand.
Thank you.
As president, I stand as representative of the Windermere community. We have worked long and tirelessly for the consideration to be annexed into this great Caddo Parish. Therefore, I come to speak in favor of this resolution and to continue moving forward in the process for your consideration and adoption. We ask, please, ma'am and sirs, vote in support of this endeavor on behalf of the very healthy and over a decade of tax-paying citizens of Windermere Estates. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sirs, in advance for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. Is there anyone here to speak against it? I declare these public hearings on ordinance number 5894 closed.
Was it an ordinance or a resolution?
It was a
Resolution.
resolution, yeah. We
What
just
was
had-
that resolution number? I'm sorry, I'm reading from the
56.
agenda. Resolution number 56. I declare this public hearing on resolution number 56 closed. Want to make sure that's right for the record.
That closes all our public hearings. We move to ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5892.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson, second by Commissioner Stephen Jackson. Commissioner Johnson?
Nope.
Okay. Commissioner Matthew Lynn?
Motion to englobo ordinance 5893.
Second.
Okay. We have a substitute motion to englobo 5893 from Commissioner.
and adopt.
Englobo and adopt.
Thank you.
5893, 5892, and 93 by Commissioner Matthew Lynn, and that was second by Commissioner Stephen Jackson. Okay, Commissioner Lynn? Good. All right. I see no other discussion. Please vote. Okay, and that passes 10 with 2 out of the chamber.
Next, we move to zoning ordinances for introduction by title. Zoning case 19-303-P in regards to ordinance number 5894, 2019. Amend the zoning of property located on the south side of South Lakeshore Drive, approximately 1,500 feet northeast of Duncan Road, Caddo Parish, from R17 Single Family Residential Zoning District to R112 Single Family Residential Zoning District. Colin Christian as the applicant. This will lay over 2 weeks. Next, we move to ordinances for introduction by title. Ordinance number 5895 of 2019, declaring the intent of the parish under LARS 47:2236 to acquire full ownership of interest in 4 parcels, namely the northeasterly 95 feet of lots 1 and 2, Dahl and Jones subdivision, the southwesterly 30 feet of lots 1 and 2, Dahl and Jones subdivision, tile 24. A lot in tile 34, corner of Sprague and Lawrence Streets, being tract 2 in the city plat 884. And lots 24 and 25, land subdivision, tile 24. Next, we move to work session minutes ratification.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by the chair, second by Commissioner Stephen Jackson. Please vote. Doing it again.
No, you got it, okay.
Okay, and that passes 10 with 2 out of the chamber.
Next, we move to resolutions. Resolution number 66, urgent request Governor John Bell Edwards and the Louisiana Department of Health to consider the impacts of changes to Medicaid contract and its effects on Caddo Parish citizens.
So move for approval.
Second.
Okay, that was moved by Commissioner Stephen Jackson, and that was second by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson. Commissioner Jackson, would you like to speak on your motion?
No, ma'am.
Okay. See no discussion, please vote. Okay, and that passes 7-3.
Resolution
item.
number 67 of 2019 to support NACO efforts to urge and request Congress to make changes to the Medicaid exclusion provision.
So move for adoption.
Second.
That was moved by Commissioner Stephen Jackson, and that was second by Commissioner Lynn Carthorne.
Either Lynn.
Yes, or either, not too many.
All right, Commissioner Lynn Carthorne. Commissioner Jackson, would you like to speak?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I see no discussion, please vote. Okay, and that passes 10 with 2 out the chamber. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Resolution number 68 to support NACO efforts to urge Congress, especially those serving on U.S. House and Senate Appropriation Committees, to support increased funding for Second Chance Act programs in the annual appropriations process.
Moved by the chair.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Matthew Lynn. See no discussion, please vote. Okay, and that passes 9-1. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Resolution number 69 to authorize the Caddo Parish Administrator to approve the assignment, bill of sale, and conveyance of state agency leases 20123 and 20129 to Comstock Oil and Gas Louisiana LLC.
So move for adoption.
Second.
Okay, that was moved by Commissioner Stephen Jackson and second by Commissioner John Atkins. They did it to you again, Commissioner Johnson. Wake up.
That's okay. I'm
Daydreaming.
slow.
Yeah.
I'm awake. We're good.
Yeah, we look.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, I see no discussion. Please vote. And that passes 10-0. Next item.
No old business, we move to new business. Adoption of rules and procedures and timeline for register of voters.
Move to adopt.
Point of order, Mr. Clerk. Do we need to, I think resolution
Exactly.
number 56 needs to be added here.
No, we've already taken care of it.
So that's done?
Yeah, all we had to do was have a public hearing on it.
And that's
Oh,
it.
okay.
Okay, thank you for
That's-
that clarification.
My question too.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
Mr.
right.
President.
Go ahead, Mr. Clerk.
Okay, so now we're at the adoption of rules and procedures and timeline for
I made
register
a
of
motion
voters.
to adopt.
Okay. The motion was made by Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson, and I'll second it. The chair seconds it. Commissioner Johnson, would you like to speak?
No.
Okay. I see no discussion. Please
Wait,
vote.
Madam
All right.
President.
I see Commissioner Dominic on the board.
What about, we're gonna set any dates to come back,
Yes.
right now?
and- Yeah, we can do it right now. I would propose that we would do it our first meeting in September.
To have the dates for the interviews, and how are we gonna do, I mean, I guess my question is, do we need to make a substitute motion to set the dates, and when do we need to set the dates for the hearing? I mean, for the interviews?
Yes, you can do that. Would you like
Well,
to get back on the board?
I would, but I'm talking, so I really can't. But
Okay.
I don't know what date we need to do, because, I didn't know, I hate to set a date, and I don't know if we're gonna do them 1 day or 2 days or what. So I think that's something we need to talk about.
I think it's a presidential privilege. I will say that we need to have 2 days on it.
Okay.
And I also say that when we reconvene the Tuesday after Labor Day, we need to begin the process on it. By then, we will have all of the sealed questions from the attorneys. Yes. Okay.
So we'll,
Yes.
on Tuesday, September 3rd, we'll set a date when the interviews will happen. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
And so if I need to do an amendment to this motion that we're doing now, or I could start with the.
No, I don't think so. I think, we can adopt this today and then come back on Tuesday, September 3rd.
Yes.
At the work session and place a specific date on when we'll start having it?
Days, yes.
We just probably need to all, like we said, someone said, get together to see what the
Our
dates are best
schedules will
available.
permit.
If you can, if you can maybe get with Todd to send out an email so we can try to figure out, because it will be, I mean, I'm with you. I think we're going to have to do it over 2 days.
Absolutely. That's it, Commissioner Dominic?
Yes, Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner John Atkins.
I think you all just covered it, Madam President. I recognize it's your privilege. I would agree with you and Commissioner Dominic to let's shoot for 2 days, please, ma'am. And if you could canvass us and try to find the most mutually agreeable days, I'd appreciate it. I think we'd all appreciate it. Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome. Consider it done. Commissioner Matthew
My
Lynn.
request was already granted. Thank you,
All right.
President.
Okay. See no other discussion, please vote. Okay, and that passes 10-0. Next item.
Allow travel reimbursement for commissioners to travel to attend meeting and event with Governor John Bel Edwards and Northwest Louisiana elected officials and legislative delegations.
Move to adopt.
Second.
I think that passes by acclamation. I'm just gonna guess. Okay, I see no discussion. Please vote. Okay, and that passes 10-0. Look at guess.
Next, we move to appointment to the Metropolitan Planning Commission. Select one of the following candidates for appointment to the Metropolitan Planning Commission to replace Mr. Theron Jackson, who has resigned. Term to expire January 1, 2022. You want me to call each name? Or?
Yes, and would you explain the process that we'll be voting?
What we can do, I'll call each name, and then you have one vote, is how we've done in the past. You
Right.
vote one time. You have to have a majority vote to attain the position.
So if you don't win the first
So
time.
you might have to go into a second round, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
So it takes 6 votes to win.
Right.
okay.
So we'll start with Christian R. Alverson.
Okay, I have 2 commissioners on the board right now. Let me get their comments, please. I thought I saw.
I think my question has been answered.
Okay, you withdrew. Okay,
Just the
Commissioner.
majority of commissioners sitting in the audience today.
6.
Sitting at the horseshoe today.
Yes.
Okay.
Commissioner John Atkins.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to be clear and make sure we all are playing by the same guidelines. So you'll call a name. If we're in favor of that name, we push yes.
Right.
Do we push no? We don't push
No.
no.
You vote one time.
All right.
If you're voting yes, vote yes only that time.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome, sir. Commissioner Lynn Carthorne.
Yeah, my question been answered.
Okay. Commissioner Stephen Jackson.
Yes, I just want to say, reiterate some comments that I made on Monday is that I think the MPC is moving in the right direction, and I hope that whatever decision this body chooses to make today, that forward progress will continue to be made. I have expressed to several folks who have reached out to me that nothing is perfect. I think the director is doing a great job, and I hope we don't start the process of where we were 2 years ago as this board and the city council having to referee what I oftentimes, and Commissioner Lynn will agree, I think we were in California having to referee some tit-for-tat stuff between board members. And a lot of times it looked like it was the city council and the commission not getting along, but it was some internal issues going on. My other thing is that I do believe that we have to have equity in our development. I understand that we want to be business friendly and customer friendly, and I appreciate Stephen for immediately coming up to give feedback about that situation that I discussed on Monday. And so that's one of the things that you can just immediately tell is different, as well as being open and accommodating the developers during lunch. But in being business friendly, I also want to make sure that we're being community friendly. We should not settle for one type of development on one side of town, another type of development on another side of town. So it's my hope that the decision that's made here is made in the best interest of the community in the spirit of cooperation. So I just want to be on the record as saying that, and I think we have 3 good candidates here. I hope to come back on at a later point, probably this year, to consider one of the individuals that are on here. Of course, we can only choose one, And so there's enough room, as the mayor said, there's enough room at the table for everybody to serve. And I think we need to take that into consideration as we consider this particular appointment and the one that will come up in the near future. Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome, Commissioner Jackson. I just want to make an announcement at this time. I see a lot of the Windermere Estates constituents still sitting out there. You are free to leave unless you would like to stay for the remainder of this process. We'd love to have you here, a part of this conversation, but
This is a good day today.
yes, thank you for coming.
Killed our audience.
Commissioner Doug Dominic.
Commissioner Atkins answered my question, so I'm good.
Okay. Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to agree with most of what Commissioner Jackson said. We do have a good NPC that's moving in a positive direction. And I'm still not 100% on board with the UDC because when it was approved, and from that time of approval until now, there's over 200 and some amendments. So if it was good at that time, we wouldn't have all these amendments that's been added to it. And you know, the major problem is that most of the public is not even familiar with the UDC, even though they had public meetings and all that. And I just don't want to get the NPC to get too focused and bogged down on a lot of stuff, and then we end up losing businesses and development because of all the red tape. And I kind of like to see a diverse board, and some people come with ideas outside of the box instead of staying inside of the box. And so that's how I feel about that. And I was one of the major proponents of saying no to the UDC when it was first brought up, because you can't make one area the same as the other area, especially in the rural area. And you know, a lot of people don't even know what the UDC is. And so there's things that was in there that I saw that was way out of place, especially dealing with property owners. I feel that a person owns the property, he can do what he needs to do as long as it doesn't impact others. And I mean by impact others, I mean by financially or physically. So, you know, when you go in and tell a person that, hey, you can't cut down all your trees on your property because we have this rule on the book, then to me that's going too far. Even though that was pulled out, but initially that was in the UDC. And you know, today we're gonna vote, we'll put someone on the on the NPC, and hopefully you think of someone who can think in and outside the box and not just in the box. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson. Okay, at this time, we'll start the process.
Okay. Our first name is Christian R. Alverson.
Okay, and that 6 for Mr. Everson.
That's it.
That takes care of it.
All right. Well, congratulations, Mr. Everson.
Thank you all. It's a great candidate. Thank you.
All right. Next, we move to communiques and committee reports.
See no commissioners on the board? Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson.
Yes, Madam President. Tuesday, I was called on my cell phone, and I didn't want to bring this up during that part of it, but I was called on my cell phone from an individual from Kia Radio. And so the person from Kia Radio asked me, did I recommend Taylor Jameson for the NPC? So I told him I did. Then the person asked me, well, why? So I gave him some of the things that Taylor has been doing in the community. So basically he said after that is, well, let's just cut through the chase. Is he related to you? And I said, why does that even matter? He said, well, I heard through the grapevine basically that he was your cousin. And I said, yeah, he is my cousin. He's my third cousin. And, you know, for, I guess, someone up here to have that person to give me a call and try to make this bigger than what it really is, it just, you know, just threw me back for a step or two. I mean, if anybody would ask me, is he my cousin? Definitely, I'm gonna tell her. I don't denounce my family members. And I do know the law. Nepotism does not cover cousins. Am I right, Attorney Frazier? All right, so as long as it wasn't my mom or dad, which are both deceased, it wasn't my mother-in-law or father-in-law, both deceased. Brothers, I don't have any. Sisters, I can tell you their names, Irma, Barbara, Ella. My children are still young, but their names Keelan, Brittany, and Lyndon II. That's who covered. So if it wasn't one of them, we're good. And my brother-in-law, forgot about that. I got one brother-in-law. His name is Arthur. So if you don't hear those names from me, appointing somebody or doing something else, that's not nepotism. So I just want to make that clear and put it on the record that that's my immediate family. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Lyndon B. Johnson. Commissioner Stephen Jackson.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Just wanted to announce that today at 7 p.m. David Raines Community Health Center, we will have our annual meeting. We're happy to have Mr. Warner Thomas, who's the CEO, President of Ocean's Health System, to be our keynote speaker. Also want to thank Dr. Wilson and Michelle. We recognized you today at lunch. I want to thank you and thank all of our commissioners and staff who came out to the law school discussion with Chancellor Pierre today. That is an effort that's moving in the right direction, and as Dr. Wilson said, it's we're long past the idea of wanting it. Let's just do it. And so we're looking forward to continuing that conversation with Southern University System as well as the Board of Regents, and we encourage everybody to get on board and be excited about that. That concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Jackson. Commissioner Johnson, you back on the floor?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I forgot. On the brighter side of everything, positive side, on July the 10th, 2019, Caddo Parish Commission, along with myself and Dr. Wilson, was awarded this plaque for the help of getting the Lane Building project completed in the MLK area. The MLK CDC utilized federal, state, and parish money to get this building done. And it's something that they will be utilizing in the community to help with workforce development and people of need. So Dr. Wilson, you can hang this somewhere up on the 8th floor somewhere.
Congratulations. Thank you. See no other comments.
Move to adjourn.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
That's what her problem is.
You got a script?